Hey everybody, welcome to etrailer.com. I'm Bobby, and today we're taking a look at the Yakima RidgeBack 4x rack carrier here on the back of our 2020 Toyota Highlander. So if you guys are looking for a way of giving yourselves a nice, decent little rack to carry your 4x to your destination, this is going to be a nice little one to do it. Now, you are getting your dual arm support features here. Of course, they're pretty standard across the industry. You guys can see, doesn't let that bike oscillate left or right. What it is going to do though, is let your bikes do this a little bit. Now, this is going to happen on any hanging style bike rack you might have out there. However, we do have these nice little anti-sway cradles on here, and as you guys are seeing, that's doing a great job of bringing this back in line, right? And also, we're reducing that max sway that we can actually reach, which is great. So, you're going to see this on any hanging style rack. Now, a lot of the racks out there have their anti-sway cradles on there, and they all vary. Now, I think these guys work really well because you also are utilizing Yakima's zip strip technology, which just makes it really easy to secure your bikes. You don't have to handle with a strap or anything. All you have to do, simply place this guy in here, bring it down on your frame, and it's going to secure it by utilizing a ratcheting system to actually make sure you have a nice tight hold on your frame. Now, these zip strips are really great. They're really easy to use. They also do have a nice little foam blocker at the top here, or rubber I should say, to go ahead and actually hold on to that frame without scuffing it up, which is great. The cradles themselves too have a great little air pocket kind of capability here. That does a great job. Just reduce a little bit of that road shake kind of feel on there, right? Allowing it to bend down a little bit if we need to, if we start encountering some road trimmers or whatever. But that's going to make sure that we don't have any damage to our bike as well. And I do like that groove in the middle. Perfect for any kind of brake lines or anything that you don't want scuffing your paint or that frame on your bike. Talking about frames though, we do have a hanging style here, which means we do have frame contact. That's going to go ahead and eliminate a carbon frame bike from being able to be carried on here, because that can end up warping and deteriorating your carbon frame bikes. However, we do have a 37.5-pound bike capacity rating here for each bike, which is going to be excellent. So you do have about 150 overall. Now, if you do find yourself just carrying maybe your single bike like we have it on here today, you are going to be reaching up more towards about 40 pounds per bike, but kind of keep that in mind as you are getting your heavier bikes on here. As you start filling in those small ones, we don't want to be exceeding that weight limit. So do kind of watch your weight limit as you're loading it up, but otherwise I think it does a great job of actually carrying your bikes. Now, you do have two little bottle openers here on the side to go ahead and give yourself a nice little securance to go ahead and start holding onto all your, or open up all your favorite beverages, which is going to be great. Well, it's not going to take us too much time to get the bike off. Before we do though, I want to take a look and see how we're actually interacting here on our Highlander. So you guys can see our wheels are going to be kind of hanging right in line where our taillights are going to be. And especially if you get four bikes up on here, you're really going to start losing a lot of that visibility. We still have very good distance between our bikes though, so we should have good admittance. Our top cowling as well should be plenty to let people know when we're braking. So I don't think that's going to be a real concern for us. The big thing is going to be you're going to lose a lot of your visibility here with your backup camera. One thing that's nice about the Highlander, it is a little bit more offset towards the driver's side, so that actually kind of puts you kind of like halfway between that side of the post. So you're already losing about all of your passenger side there because of this posting. And then as you get four bikes up on here, you're really going to lose a lot of that visibility. Now, that's going to happen with any four bikes kind of carrier out there, but it's definitely something that is kind of be impactful. So kind of weigh that in mind. Maybe some kind of smaller platform carrier, only a 2-bike version would allow you to have that backup camera, but that's really not the make or break of most of these things. So I'll leave that up to you. To get our bikes off of here though, takes no time at all. I just simply press in on those strips. That's going to allow me to take these guys off. One thing about these zip strips, I highly recommend taking them off if you find yourself leaving this out in severe weather like snow or anything like that. That way they're not getting too damaged up. And if you do find yourself consistently using this front one, I highly recommend changing your zip strips out, rotating them on this device. That way you're not overusing one of them and reducing the strength of that zip strip. But to get this guy out sometimes too, it can be nice to push that cradle up out of the way just to go ahead and clear it, especially as you want to mount and dismount your bikes. Pushing these cradles to the inside really eliminates all of that kind of gunk in your way as you do mount your bike. To get it off though, all I have to do is simply grab it and walk it off. Just like that. Already, we are ready to ride. So it becomes very, very easy to do that. And mounting it just the same. Really nothing too crazy with it. And one thing I really like about these zip strips, very easy to take out, right? We'll set your bike on here and then start bringing them down. I'd say the only disadvantage of these guys might be a little easier to lose. They are smaller, and they are independent of the system. But as long as we're keeping track of them and reinserting them when we're done, we should have no trouble keeping track of these guys. That way they're ready to go the next time we need it. Well, we do need to go ahead and grab ourselves some dimensions here. Now, we're not going to be too worried about clearance because we have a nice little hanging style rack here today. That's probably going to be something we're going to have to check here. But let's see how much length we're actually adding in the back of the Highlander. Already not the shortest vehicle out there. So let's go ahead and see from the back of our bumper here today to the very end of our carrier. Let me go ahead and make sure I'm straight right there. Is putting you right at about 39 3/4 of an inch, maybe closer to the half, but I'll go ahead and say that 3/4 just to make sure. That's definitely going to be a pretty sizable length on here. However, you do have 4 bikes on here, so that's going to be something that you're going to run to with almost any carrier, especially if you're looking to fit 4 bikes. And luckily for us, we have a way of shortening this down really, really quick. To do that, we're going to go right up to our trigger lever here, pull that guy. That's going to allow this to walk right in and secure itself. Now, you're going to have a little bit of movement on these arms. They have pretty good resistance, though, so it's nothing that's going to be going crazy, and you're probably not going to hear it or feel it on the back of your vehicle, as we do have a nice little anti-rattle device in line with us. So fear not, won't be hearing these arms swaying around, and of course they won't make contact with our vehicle, which is excellent. But we can go ahead and see how much space we actually shaved down here today from the end of our bumper to the very end of our carrier now. That's putting you right at 16 inches to the end of our zip strip. So definitely a lot of that length getting cut down. Now, hopefully, we get this in the garage, or at least, at the very least, give ourselves some maneuverability to go ahead and get it parked at the trailhead. Well, we actually can tilt this guy away as well. Now, of course, you have to do that without your bike on here, and that can be a somewhat of a nod towards maybe those more premium bike rack platform carriers. You actually leave your bike on there and tilt it away, which is very nice. But if that's not something you're super into, you can still go ahead and actually access your cargo by simply popping this guy right here. There we go. I think I had it set just a little bit with those arms, and that allows me to go ahead, tilt this all the way away, and now I can pop open my hatch here. Now I can get this bike helmet, coolers, anything else I might need from the back of my vehicle. Also, I love how much space this gives me. You could find yourself just relaxing here on the back of the vehicle, changing your shoes, getting ready, relaxing before and after your ride. Really, really nice that we have access to our cargo and that we don't have to take this entire thing to get it actually off of here and then access our cargo. Like that I can just walk it right back up to. It's going to go ahead and secure itself. Watch your hand right there as that trigger comes back in place. But there you go, nice and secure. No pins or clips you have to worry about. That's something that's excellent about it. It's just a lever that we can go ahead and access, and it will go ahead and bend itself right back up. Love to see that. Moving our way down in the inside here, though, let's go ahead and check our clearance, as we do want to go ahead and make sure we're not going to have any issues here. I think I am just going to go right to that bottom strut there. You guys can see that's been designed to be the first point of contact if we're going to have anything. And that's going to put you, looks to be right at 12 3/4 of an inch there. Make sure I'm not, 12 3/4 of an inch, even with straightening out the ruler. That's going to be great. We are very close here to our rear axle, so it's nothing I'm too concerned about. Now, it is one of the maybe shorter clearances I've seen today here on the Highlander, so if you do maybe find yourself on a lot of hills, you might want to look at something a little different. Now, again, though, 12 3/4 is definitely a lot of space. It's nothing I'm going to be super concerned about, but let's just go ahead and check any severe terrain we might be encountering, because as those front wheels go up, the back will go down, and so will your hitch-mounted accessories. Moving our way down to the inside, though, here you guys can see we do have naturally an 1.25 inch shank. However, we do have a 2-inch sleeve converter inside, allowing ourselves to utilize our 2-inch hitch here. And the inside there, too, you are seeing just a little alignment pin. Where the real work is being done is right here on the outside. So this little guy right here, this Yakima holder, this guy is awesome. All you have to do, tighten him from the outside. That's going to tighten the cam on the inside of our receiver, bringing it all in line to one system, making for a nicer, smoother ride for ourselves, our bike rack, and our bikes. And one thing I really like about it too, you see it is lockable here. So we can go ahead and secure our carrier to our vehicle when we leave it unattended. And one thing I'll say to that too, Yakima boasts their same key system. That's going to allow you to go ahead and maybe you have a locking core that you get with this guy. Maybe you have another accessory. You can go ahead and actually get them keyed alike. And I highly recommend looking at getting a cable lock for this guy to hood and start securing your bikes to your carrier when you leave it unattended. That's going to be excellent for ourselves. So unfortunately, not quite like the overhaul, which has the nice one in the back here, which can be great. But Can be workable, like I said, by picking up a separate cable lock available here at etrailer.com. Overall, though, guys, I think that the Ridgeback is a great little system. You know, it's getting you everything you want from a hanging style system. Now, personally, I'm a bigger fan of the Thule Hitching Post Pro. It's just kind of got that quintessential look, but I don't think you can really beat how easy this system is to use. I like it at every point. I can go ahead, pop open a trigger, and move things. It locks in place. It's ready to go. I can tilt it away in 2 seconds, and that is a pretty big advantage, in my opinion, over the Thule Hitching Post Pro. So if you're looking for convenience, this guy's excellent. I still think it does a great job of really reducing the movement that your bike has on here because of that zip strip technology that Yakima boasts. So really do like this guy. Going to do a great little way of getting you, your friends, and your family to your destination. Well, guys, I think that about does it for our look at the Yakima RidgeBack 4-bike rack carrier here on the back of our 2020 Toyota Highlander. I'm Bobby. Thank you for watching.
Here it is on our test course. We'll start by going through the slalom. This is going to show us the side-to-side action, which simulates turning corners or evasive maneuvers. Next, we're at the alternating speed bumps, which we'll see the twisting action. This will simulate hitting a curb or pothole or driving over uneven pavement. And finally, we have the full speed bumps, where we'll see the up and down action, which is just like driving out of a parking lot, garage, or driveway.